Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, we're out with Roy Lupton flying eagles after hares. We're after muntjac and fallow deer. But first, the story we featured last week of the two gun dogs stolen on the shoot in Kent, Willow and Meg. Well, the good news is they've been found, thanks to doglost.co.uk and the TV campaign at the time. Now, the pheasant shooting season is coming to an end, but so too is the deer culling season. We're out with a professional deer stalker after two species. The Chilton Hills in the early morning. We're stalking a patch of ancient woodland, some of it more than 1,000 years old, all of it private, deep in the Oxfordshire countryside and less than an hour's drive from London's Trafalgar Square. This stalking is run by professional deer stalker Owen Beardsmore of sporting agent Cervus UK.
It's the Chilterns that we're in, and there's a serious fallow deer problem, a huge population. We've also got a very strong population of muntjac, and we've got a sprinkling of roe deer that are trying to establish themselves in the area, but at the moment they're really struggling to do that. There's little pockets of them here and there depending on where the food source is.
They're having trouble competing with the muntjac?
They are, yeah, because it's the same food source virtually, you know, so the muntjac are competing at a very low level, and it's not actually getting up to the level that the roe deer can actually browse at, you know.
Now you're obviously doing your job, because not only do you have a lot of deer, you have some good heads here, don't you? Tell me about some of the best you've seen around here.
Oh, there's the Chilterns, because of the amount of minerals that are in the ground. It's very chalky and very limestoney. We do get some great trophies on all the deer, even the roe deer that are trying to establish. We recently had one knocked down on the road, and it was measured. That was a huge head. But yeah, muntjac, good medal class on a regular basis, and very strong fallow deer as well. There's not that many places in the UK where you can shoot big palmated fallow deer, but the Chilterns is one of them.
Owen's client today is Mark Broadhurst, a stalker from Warwickshire.
I enjoy the countryside around the Chilterns and Oxfordshire. I enjoy the company of the lads that take me out. I find them very professional, and it's a nice laugh when we get together, but also we take the deer stalking very seriously as well. It's a break from the old routine, and it's just nice surroundings, beautiful ancient forestry, and nice to get away from work.
Mark is a blazer nut.
Because I've been a shooting man for over 33 years and I've worked my way up into stalking, I felt that if I was going to shoot an animal that I particularly admired, I needed the correct and the best equipment that I could afford in order to do the job properly, as I didn't want to see an animal suffer in any way. So I bought what I considered to be the best equipment for me. I bought a Blouser rifle in 243 with a fast pull. I've never missed a deer that I have intentionally went out to cull, and every single deer that I have shot with this rifle has been found.
Mark also owns a Blaser Success, and he fancies the new Blaser R8. His choice of round for this Blaser R93 is the Winchester Supreme. His glass, binos and rifle scope is exclusively Swarovski. Owen chooses Zeiss binoculars, and in this light they both need the best optics available. The start of the day is all about muntjac.
Mark's been cull stalking with me on many occasions, and I don't know if he's had a good Christmas bonus, but he's after shooting a nice trophy muntjac buck, because of the ground that he's got hasn't got many muntjac on. So we've seen a really nice muntjac buck just coming into this field edge. That's what we set out to get this morning. However, we weren't that successful, and we'll be back out again this evening to see if we can get it.
The big one doesn't show. Only a tittler comes to the call. But it isn't just the call that brings deer to Owen's stalkers. An enormous amount of work goes into making a day like this happen for a stalker. Owen is always trying out new deer management techniques, such as this mineral lick.
I've got a Belgian product in it, which is like salt with a apple scent in it. I also put rock salt down, and I also put animal mineral licks down, just to try and supplement you know, when they're regrowing their antlers, they've got something there to come, and it just keeps the deer in the area, you know what I mean? They love it, and they'll always come and have a lick on one of the trees where the as the rain comes down, it goes through the salt and then it comes down the tree, and they come and lick on here. And this is one I've put up, it's a relatively new one, and the salt runs down here and the deer come and lick on the bark here, and this will go absolutely smooth in the end. This is a relatively new one, so it's still quite rough, but it'll go totally smooth.
And then there are the high seats. We take a break to meet a member of Owen's stalking workforce who has a profitable sideline making good value high seats.
It's designed and manufactured by me. I do issue them out to field testers and I get all their feedback. Luckily they're quite critical at the end of the day. Whatever they give me, if it's positive, then we adapt the seat to make it a better product. The whole thing can be put together with a 6mm Allen key and a 13mm spanner. As you've seen, I've put this one together in the field. It can be erected by one man. Two man is advisable, but it can actually be put together and erected on the site and moved by one person. The whole seat, this particular one, which is a single man seat, weighs roughly about 44 kilo complete. That's with the leg kit. The seat can be made combined, so it can be freestanding or a lean-to seat, but it would have to be specified at the time of manufacture because we do a few different alterations. Most people who order a freestander don't wish it to be able to be a lean-to seat as well, so it comes just like that, and it all fits together.
Your promise is you can put it up in less than 10 minutes.
Yes.
So we're going to test that with a bit of TV magic against the clock. Are you happy for us to do that?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
on your marks, get set, go!
Okay.
How much does a high seat like that cost?
Keith charges £290 for that one. I've got several different manufacturers of high seats, but I've moved to these because they're robust yet lightweight, and they're good value for money. Powder coated, and they just last forever. So I'm chuffed to bits, and I've just ordered another 5 off him.
And I mean, are they bulky to transport around?
No, not at all. Keith's just brought 5 of those down in the back of his Toyota Hilux, so it shows they're not too bad, and they just all bolt together.
Back to the stalking, and Mark and Owen stop off to pick up a deer carcass from the previous evening stalking, hung in the cold weather and now well drained. While they are there, Mark spots a small group of fallow. During the fallow seasons, Owen takes any chance to cull these deer to keep the population healthy.
It's a feed ride for the pheasants, and I thought we might pick up a muntjac there. As we were arriving, there's a group of fallow deer out, so we checked the wind, and it was fine, and we stalked into those and assessed them from a distance of about 200 metres, and then proceeded to do a nice little stalk down, keeping in against the woodland edge again till we got close to about 100 yards, and then Mark did a very good job and shot the deer behind the shoulder just as we wanted, in the big bit, no messing, and we've got one hanging up, which I'm very pleased about. I'm sure the game dealer will be as well.
If you want to go stalking with Owen, visit www.cervusuk.co.uk. And if you like the look of Keith's high seat, visit www.keithshighseats.co.uk.
Owen owns a Bavarian mountain hound, a very fashionable dog amongst deer stalkers these days. He didn't need it for that fallow. But training a Bavarian mountain hound is a specialised task. We talk to Holtam. Colin and Dom are off out on a training session with young Damsel. The 9-month-old Bavarian mountain hound is a step into the unknown for Colin, who is more used to labs and terriers. This evening we're on farmland on the Kent-Sussex border looking for fallow. As much as we'd like one, Damsel is the focus of Colin's attention, not venison.
I got her through Pete Carr, which I was really fortunate and really lucky to have her, and I'm really pleased with her. She's only 9 months. This is purely just a training session for her. If I shoot anything, if we're lucky enough to shoot anything, she won't be expected to find it. I just really want to get her out into the woods so that she can learn to walk the hill, see a bit of life, what's going on around her, try and hopefully learn to be steady. I really wanted a dog that I didn't have to leave in the vehicle all the time, something that I could take, shooting with me and was you know, just a bit of a companion to go shoot. It's always nice to go shooting with your dog, and I just, you know, I just wanted something a bit different, and I'm really, really pleased with her, and we'll see how she gets on. I don't truthfully know, this is the first one I've ever had, and I don't truthfully know that they're any better than any other breed. It's just I really fancied one, so I thought I'd have one. I've got a kennel full of Labradors. I could have pulled any number of Labradors out, but I just truly thought I fancy a Bavarian. I really like the look of them. I like my hounds anyway, and I just thought I'll try one.
Colin and Dom know this ground well, and they are as likely to be just metres from the road as from the bottom of the valley.
Last time I stalked this block of wood, we got into a group of deer about 100 yards from here. I think because it's a constant noise, and they'll cross the road between this farm and the farm over the way. They just become acclimatised to it. So it's part of their daily life. It's a background noise, and it's normally only things that are out of the ordinary that will upset wildlife. You know, if they live with it day to day, then generally they're comfortable with it.
Through the wood, Damsel only has eyes for Colin, but in the open she is more aware of Dom behind her. There are, of course, plenty of smells to distract her. A dead pigeon, for one, but most of the time she sticks tight to Colin. Damsel has seen deer before, and Colin has used blood trails to get her tuned in. He wants to make sure she is bold if she ever needs to confront a wounded deer in the future.
I very much doubt she's going to go piling straight into it and grab hold of it. I would expect her probably just to sit and growl at it and sniff at it and jump in and out, you know, backwards and forwards. Eventually I'll wind her up enough that hopefully she will start to grab hold of them, or at least speak to them and let me know where they are. That's what I'm really hoping.
As we head across the fields, Damsel stops and we spot deer. Unfortunately, one of them spots us too, and 2 or 3 take off. It's been a good test for Damsel, and Colin is hopeful he's doing the right things that'll result in a competent companion.
Well, she's not too bad, is she? She's got a lot to learn. I mean, she's got loads to learn. She's never going to be any good until she's a 2-year-old. But she never really did anything wrong. She concentrated reasonably hard, and I'm fairly certain sure that the 2 deer that I did see, I'm fairly certain sure that she did wind them, because she was definitely looking in that direction, and that's what made me look up to find them. So I'm fairly certain sure that she did. But I'm really pleased with her, because she's only just 9 months, coming up to 10 months, so, you know, can't ask an awful lot more of her, really. She's just going to have a fight with my Labrador, but she's a miserable little worm. You know, you can't ask too much more of her. She's not a very big one. They seem to come all different shapes and sizes. I didn't really want a very big one, so I'm really, really pleased that she's not very big.
Of course, you'd rather not be using a dog like Damsel at all. She's there if things go wrong. Since starting Fieldsports Channel, we've been lucky enough to go out with some exceptional stalkers and film some incredible deer. We've chosen the best of the bunch and are releasing our first deer stalking DVD, A Year of Deer, 12 months, 6 species. It's stuffed with great advice and great stories. There's the fallow stalk with the added excitement of an aggressive dog walker throwing abuse as we take out an injured buck. Rugby league legend Kieran Cunningham describes his first red as being better than scoring at Wembley, and he should know. There's also a masterclass in calling in those roebucks and gralloching a Chinese water deer. It amounts to more than an hour and a half of some of the best action in the field. Go to the new shop page on the front of the www.fieldsportschannel.tv website to order. Next, from guns that go bang to birds that go wallop, we're out with the popular Roy Lupton looking for hares with a golden eagle.
It's that time of year when Roy has got his eagles fighting fit. When he's not out after blue hares in Scotland, he's in the stubble looking for the brown ones. We're at Kingsclear in Hampshire, and we're not alone. There's another film crew following Mr. Lupton, so we're having to play second fiddle, but hopefully it won't disrupt the action. Roy's friend Ian has come to lend a hand. He has more experience with gosses, but is happy to help slip the birds if needs be. We're going to cover a lot of ground today, so Roy has filled up his Aga cat. Hopefully Atos has had a good night's sleep. Roy works the field and we get a couple of hares up, but they're either behind us or not right for his Goldie baby. Roy keeps sweeping the field and we change position, staying high. Then another hare breaks from his seat. Ian slips baby.
Go on, go on, go on.
It's a great flight, and the hare has a lucky escape. The eagle's turn of speed just before the strike is incredible.
With Baby, he's quite an experienced eagle on brown hares and on blue hares as well, because he flies a lot in the mountains. And when he knows that he's got the height advantage, because he was coming down from the top of the hill there, and what he'll be doing is he'll be coming in and just getting his timing right. So he flips out to the side normally and then comes in and cuts into the hare, because if they just try and, if a young eagle or an inexperienced eagle will just go flying straight into it, and the hare can see it coming all the way and is just waiting and anticipating the move. Whereas what Baby does is he bides his time, comes in, and then at the last minute just catapults himself round and flicks in for the take. And that's one of the moves that he specialises in, and normally does quite well with those, but not on that occasion.
Time to hit the road and make our way over to another field. Atos shows he's as good pounding the streets as he is cross-country. Roy covers the bottom of the valley and we walk to the top, but no luck this time. The estate works hard to promote hares, which benefits plenty of other wildlife.
They're leaving the stubbles for longer, if they can, and the stubble slightly longer as well, so it's allowing more cover for the hares. And that allows them to come through. But it's not just the hares that benefit, there's all the ground nesting birds that benefit as well, because obviously with sufficient predator control, so if you're keeping the foxes at bay and a lot of the corvid species, the magpies and the crows and whatever else, then all of the ground nesting birds benefit as well, so you've got the partridges, lapwings, and then you've got obviously skylarks as well. So when you're going across there's huge amounts of skylarks that are there, and that's just because of just slight changes in management with the farm.
Time to play for the cameras, and Roy and Ian put the eagles through their paces. First flying from glove to glove, and then after a lure behind the cat. The roe deer skin certainly gets this young bird moving.
The prime aspect with all of it is ensuring that they've got the muscle capability and the aerobic fitness as well to keep up with everything, so or to keep on top of the game.
With the photo session over, it's time to have another bash at these hares. On the last drive, eagle-eyed Ian spots a hare holding fast. Roy positions everyone, and Ian sets the hare racing across the field. Once again it's close, but not close enough, and another hare is given a chance to tear off to cover. The hares may not be plentiful, but they've beaten the eagles today.
Well, we're back next week. This has been Fieldsports Britain, at the end of what has been a fantastic bird shooting season.